I've had so many assignments this week, it has been crazy, which is why I actually didn't upload one of these videos last weekend. I had 3 presentations this week, 2 of which I actually used the smartboard. Only my video clip didn't play properly, and I didn't have a plan B, I didn't have a backup plan, so I've definitely learned my lesson from that experience. My second presentation using the smartboard, I actually made a kind of Jeopardy game with it, and it worked flawlessly, so I was really happy about that. We had a seminar on using a bunch of different technologies in classrooms. There's one particular one that stood out to me called Educreations. You can draw out pictures or write words related to a certain topic that you want to teach, and it can record the movements you're doing as well as what you're speaking, which I thought was really fun. For over the past 2 weeks, we've been focusing on student assessment for, as, and of learning. We have this big assignment where we get 6 different students' work back from a particular assignment, and we have to grade them based on a rubric that we had built. I discovered that rubrics can be very hard to make in an effective way. As for the physics curriculum class, I've really enjoyed doing all these different experiments because 1, it gives me an idea of what I could do with my students, and 2, it gives me a really good refresh on the stuff I haven't seen in quite a while. For example, I never knew that a light bulb worked the way it did until it was shown in class, which is a little bit embarrassing to admit, but it's true. I'm sure that as you teach throughout the years, you learn more about teaching, about students, and you probably know a bit more about the subject matter itself as you continue teaching it. I really enjoyed visiting that high school last week. It gave me a great opportunity to kind of go to a high school in the mindset of being a student teacher. A big focus for a lot of the prof classes has been looking at exceptional students as well as students with learning disabilities. I kind of got the overarching feeling that people use IEPs as kind of like the solution to learning disabilities or the solution to ESL learners. Having their own plan and having this extra help does make it a little bit easier, but it is not a solution that can kind of just erase their learning disability. These students have to work really hard just to get that passing grade. Sometimes getting a passing grade can be more impressive than a student getting 100% all the time. I think that's really important to keep in mind. For Prof 101, I wrote a paper about nonverbal learning disabilities. We don't know that much about it, so that was interesting to find out what we do know about it. These students will have a very hard time socially in high school, which brings me to another point that we talked about in one of our classes, bullying. I don't know as a teacher how I will be personally dealing with bullying. Based on what we saw in class and based on my own personal thoughts, I think that the best thing you can do is hear both sides. Speak out against it. Don't show any tolerance for it. First and foremost, you should never do or say anything that could be perceived as bullying in any context. One of the main focuses has been preparing us for practicum, obviously, because that is a week from now. I'm a little bit nervous about that, but they're doing a really good job of preparing us and giving us the tools that we need, and I'm actually really excited to go try a whole bunch of this stuff in classrooms.